Hey there everyone! Welcome back to another exciting video for the Shibarium community and its partners. I'm Shib, and my mission is to spread knowledge and positivity within the Shibarium ecosystem. This video is the 27th of all X Space Weekly DAO Update series. This X Space was held July 25th, 2024.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another K9 Finance Weekly DAO Update Spaces. You are here once again live from the K9 Finance Studios this week for episode number 27, talking about Goodbye July, end of month update and forum news. Hello, everybody. Live once again with a K9 Finance account. This week, dressed in gold with an affiliate badge. That's right. You might notice I'm a little dressed up, got a little bling on today. I think it looks nice. I don't know what you guys think, but you let me know what you think in the comments. Looking good today. We're going to talk about that and a lot of other stuff. It's me. I'm Pulse Digital. I'm not K9 Finance. Remember, I'm just a DAO member like you guys, but I get to do this every week and host the show where we bring up the people from the community who are working on things to give you updates. Now, in order to do that, we need some assistance from you. You can kind of like alley-oop it to us, if you will. We need some things. You can request to speak. If you're one of those members with an update, come up here, join the panel, join the show, be a speaker. That would be helpful, so I don't have to talk to myself the whole time. And I will, so don't threaten me. Number two would be if you can't talk, at the bottom right corner is where you want to go. That's the comment section. Be very helpful to get some comments down there. Either if you're listening to the show and you want to talk to us about what we're talking about, you can @tag everybody down there. Or if you just want to go share some memes. The recent meme contest, there's a lot of new stuff that could be posted down there. For example, it's good for the algorithm, good for your analytics as well to get some views. So take an opportunity to do that. You can also share the spaces. If you know somebody who should be here, share it. Send them a DM. Let them know that we're live for another weekly update. And last is emojis, which help us as speakers to know that you can hear, enjoy, laugh, cry, and all the other stuff that goes along with the spaces. So that's how the buttons work down on the bottom. We don't want to assume. Now, if you look around, you'll notice I approved some speakers as we were going through that. Some folks you might recognize from around the community. We always go right to Buzz when we do our weekly update. Buzz, good day. How are you?
Hey, Shane, doing well, thank you. How are you?
Doing all right, man. Good to hear you. Thank you for coming up. Remember, guys, as we pull speakers up, you're free to pin your posts. If there's something you're going to want to talk about that's happened and you're going to want to reference something, it'd be the opportunity to put it up top so we can all see it later. You can dig through your profile or dig through whichever profile you need to and take an opportunity to put that up there. I see Turtle was one of my early requests. Turtle, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Just enough caffeine to keep me going is all that counts. Yeah, I hope you're doing well also.
I am. That's all it takes. I'm glad you're here with us. Thank you for pulling up. We've got some forum news we're going to want to go over. I've got a couple of things written down for us to touch on, so thank you for pulling up. Also got Cezanne Shib approved up here. How are you, man?
Oh, g'day. I'm doing both good and bad. How is my microphone, by the way?
It's nice to have you up here. Thank you for pulling up.
Hey, Shane, I'm going to drop down and up again.
Okay.
I can't hear the other speakers.
No problem. We'll cycle you around, bud. He said he couldn't hear you there, Cezanne, so he's going to cycle back around. And Xanders, I don't know if you're somewhere where you can speak, but I appreciate you rolling through. How are you?
Hey, hello. Thanks for the invitation here. I always glad to hear about K9 updates, K9 DAO. So this is amazing. I am glad to listen to you all here.
Thank you for stopping by, Xanders. We all just got together. A bunch of us were over at the Bad Idea, the Bad Idea X account for the spaces that we just did over there. So thank you guys for rolling back over here. We had updates over there. So this is us getting together. Like I said, I'd put on a different suit and get together in another place. You also see the Shib account came over with us. I appreciate you following over and co-hosting. Once again, looking, smashing up here next to this time, the K9 Square account up there. Those Square accounts really do stand out. So thank you for pulling up in the Shib account. We'll see who rolls through. You guys have no idea when the Shib account shows up, how many weird requests I get and stuff. Pro tip, if you're ever hosting the Shib account, never approve someone to speak when they only have 17 posts. You know, like you get the weirdest requests from people and you know it's not going to go good. You know it's never going to go well. So it's always fun smacking down the weird accounts that want to come up. It's a hilarious experience when they come up because people follow that Shib account, man, and they all want to come up for one reason or another and do that. So thank you guys for pulling up today. So Buzz, I've got a laundry list of things things that I wrote down of all these different posts that went out on the X account throughout the week that I want to touch on. And we're going to pick up the slack where Funk is not with us today. We all have to channel some of this marketing energy and stuff. So I want to go over some of the posts, but I want to give you an opportunity, as we usually do, to open up the spaces, because I don't want to choose one of these and steal the thunder for what you think was the biggest news since last spaces. So it's always 7 days between shows. What's been the biggest thing between now and last show for you?
Oh, it was definitely I think it was last Friday, we did with myself, Shima, Turtle, we did a demo of the product end to end with all of our whales in our whale chat, anyone that has 400 million K9 or more. And then on Tuesday, we launched the testnet for all of the whales as well. So right now there's ongoing closed beta testing that only the whales can access. So that's certainly been the biggest news for us, and just means that, hey, the K9 product is now live for people to be using on testnet.
That was actually mentioned in the Shib magazine. What did that look like? You want to comment on that?
Yeah. Shout out to the Shib magazine, always covering things with K9. They're great over there. So that they were able to highlight that the K9 whale chat is now testing the product. I did notice that a little bit of the way that it was written, it sounded like people are using it on mainnet, just because of the way that it was worded, saying that people can now delegate Bone, get K9 Bone, and start earning some of the tokens in the ecosystem. But that all is true, but it is on PuppyNet and on Sepolia network on the Ethereum side. So the whales are earning and using the testnet product, but it is on testnet, and what they're earning is test tokens to test the product out. And they have we have a really good line of communication where there's a Google form for people to give product feedback, report bugs and things like that. And the reception thus far has been tremendous. And it's not just bugs that we're looking for either. It's what do you like? What don't you like? What's confusing? How can we improve things? And there's been, I think one major improvement that we stumbled upon very quickly, and that we wanted to improve, and many smaller points of feedback as well that are going to be implemented, but just goes to show how dedicated of a community we have for people to take the time to test and give their valuable feedback. And we have a couple of the whales up here today who are here to talk about their experience in testing the product as well, which is great.
Up on the panel with us right now. I'm not here to out people, so what do you mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, now that you put that, I mean, they can speak about their experience talking about it if they like. I don't want to out people either, but both of them did say that they were going to join to talk about that, so I may have been a little bit presumptuous.
Well, yeah, someone can raise their hand if they want to touch on that, because I'm not here to throw darts in anybody's bag. I'm not a wallet watcher. You cracked me up when you said that. I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to handle that one. Usually I'd have a pretty good reply for that, but you Cezanne, you want to touch on that?
Yeah. I can officially say that I'm a K9 whale. So, yeah.
So what did you think of the demo?
My first experience was very disappointing, because I was expecting a lot of bugs, but I had to dig for them to get the bugs. So
trying to earn that white hat bounty, huh? Trying to find the bugs and make the dollars. Is that what you're working on?
Yeah, I made a beta test. There should be bugs, but well, we have found some now. But and to be serious, the product is very good, extremely good. So I think the devs are doing it hard for themselves, because right now we are getting so many good stuff, and from now on, we will expect the good stuff to continue with this. I think.
Yeah, they've set a precedent for themselves for sure. This is what's exciting for Buzz. I can see why Buzz has decided that this is his highlight for the week, because as a developer or as a builder, seeing somebody use your finished product or even be able to do a walkthrough of an unfinished space is always exciting. People can begin to see your vision take shape, or they can come through and you get to hear the wows and the oohs and the ahs, which is reaffirming. It is important to get those types of things, because a lot of times what's happening, we've talked about, is happening in the dark and you don't know about it. So when you finally get to bring a client through, in this case, client customer, being bone holders and users who are going to use the product, when you get to walk a select group of those people through and get the oohs and the ahs and stuff like that, it can be very, very positive reinforcement. So I'm sure it felt very good for Buzz and for everybody that was in there. And it's important. I think that's why we're highlighting that this is all occurring. I want to say this one more time, Buzz, on testnet, right? This is all something that happened in the whale chat on testnet. Nobody got a head start on anything. This isn't something where people are already staking and you're not. I want to be 100% clear that that article did not in any way confuse people. That's the situation as it stands right now, right?
Yeah, that's correct. All of the beta testing right now for the whales is just on testnet.
Excellent. I stated that again just because I wanted to be clear as crystal, that when we talk about that nobody snuck anybody on that thing. Being in the whale group didn't give you an advantage. There are advantages to being in the whale group, but it's never going to be early access to higher APYs or something like that. That would be very antithetical to the premise of a DAO and stuff. And I'm comfortably saying that without even running that by Buzz, because I'd be upset if I found that out too, and that wouldn't be the way I want it to go. So just keep in mind, you guys, that was testnet, and there are other benefits that you could get from being in the whale chat, such as the hoodies and the stuff that went out, some access at ETH Toronto and stuff. So if you're hearing this for the first time, or if you read that in the article and you're thinking, well, man, I didn't even know there was a whale chat. If you need information about that, you can DM Turtle in the Telegram and get connected that way. Go ahead, no one, I see your hands up.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I think now is no secret for me that I'm a whale. I think I came out, was it last week or so? When I bought the remaining of the 400 million tokens. And I've been testing the product, so to say, for a few days now. And it's really amazing. You can tell how much effort and thought went into this product. The design is great. The functionality is great, and while you see all the tokens in the white paper, it seems like a lot and doesn't make too much sense. But once you actually see the product, you start to get a hang of it, and it's actually really addictive. I got really into it, and we need to use test bone for it on the testnet, and the supply of it is quite limited. So I've been going crazy with my crazy and using the faucet for it, and it just gives 10 bone per click, and then you have to do a lot of capture to get a lot of bone. So in the end, I think, I don't know if there is a special prize for getting the win by getting the most thing, but I think I have like 57% of the liquidity pool now in my hands. So I went crazy. I couldn't stop until, well, I still try to put some bone now and then. Then I also balanced the liquidity pool. There was a little bit of mismatch between the K9 bone and the actual bone itself. So I used also the ShibaSwap bridge from Shibarium to the testnet on Ethereum to balance it out, and it works quite beautifully. So I made like a couple of thousand extra bone by doing the balancing. So it's really fun, it's really nice, it's really interesting, it's really engaging, and it's a great product. I think I've also given like 6 or 7 submissions for improvements. I wouldn't call those bugs really, because everything seems to be working perfectly. There are some user interface improvements which can make it more logical here and there, but overall it's quite perfect. So I'm really, really impressed by what I have seen so far.
I really appreciate that you're taking the time to play on the testnet and do all of that, because there's going to be a lot of users, and I'm going to say this again, there are going to be a lot of users that are going to come in your footsteps or your wagon tracks, much like the early Romans built the roads we still use today, who would never have done any of the things that you're doing right now to help Buzz and these other guys test this out. So for me and everyone else that would not have done all the test work that you've done, man, I have 2 words for you: retroactive airdrop. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate your hard work. Cezanne, go ahead.
Yeah, man, and just a little thing I want to point out too. Totally agree with no one. And there are also small things that you maybe don't notice at once, but if you are used to tap around on the net, and I think someone else mentioned it too, like when you hover over something like the numbers, there's a little pop-up, and very often when you take your mouse over it, it will disappear, or when you click on it, it will disappear. But here you can actually target it and copy the numbers. So, and I'm not sure if it was intended that way, but if it was, it is extremely well thought through, I think. Just a small part of it that shows how good the app actually is. Yeah, and that's what I want to say.
Little UI things like that are so important. I think sometimes being able to copy and paste, it's the little things that'll frustrate you the most. Honestly, it can be like a very, very good, clean product. 99% of it might be right. And then it's those little things that you'll still get the little complaints about. So kudos to you guys. And I hope the whales enjoyed that, getting their preview. And like I said, if you want to join the whale chat and get advanced previews, you guys know how to do it. Send Turtle a message. The big news, I think, between now and last week, now I'm going to jump on this one, is the WolfSwap listing. This was something that was coming. We've been on Shibaswap and we listed on WolfSwap. There's a little bit of WolfSwap news. 2 things, Buzz. Can you touch on 1, putting the liquidity on and what that was like? And then 2, I believe farming for WolfSwap is going live today, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I also just want to say that the whales have been so eager to go into the test and like look for little Easter eggs and stuff like that, and it's really fun as a product builder to add little Easter eggs in there that people can look for. Like I know Sizen was messaging me about one that he found, just like really cool things that we put in there that people find. It's like, oh, this is cool, was this meant to be there? And it's just happy moments to see people finding the small touches that we've put in there. But in regards to WolfSwap, yeah, we added liquidity. I believe it was on Monday to go live there. So that's now our 3rd decentralized exchange now that we're on Shibarium. And yeah, we've been working with their team there, and they're going to be adding a farm, I think, later today. Yet to speak with them yet today, but as soon as they do make that farm live, we'll be sure to let everybody know. And I know that in last week's show, we went through in detail what the pros, cons, and risks to adding liquidity to a pool can be, but just wanted to make that available to our community if that's something that they are interested in earning Wolf tokens by adding liquidity on WolfSwap.
And I know the Wolf community would also be excited about that. You know how every DEX has got their own community, so Wolf is very active on social, so it's nice. And it's community outreach as much as it's anything too. Just showing up and saying, hey, K9's here, and we're putting our money where our mouth is, so to speak, by getting these listings. So that's good. Everybody keep an eye out for the farm on that. We also talked about farming last week, a little bit about how LP farming works and what the tokens mean and stuff, so I won't rehash that. You could go check on the YouTube channel or on the old recordings, because we catalog things like this for questions like that. So if you're more interested in learning about the LP farming, you could listen back to that, or you could follow the post up top that talks about WolfSwap and their information. The other thing that I have written down here is that the Shib price tracker is live, and I actually think this is a pretty cool little thing, and I know Funk's not here to talk about it, but Buzz, I've been watching this, and you get notifications every now and then when it goes live. Can you tell me what you guys have done with this Shib price tracker that we're seeing notifications on our timelines for?
Yeah, of course. Turtle's actually the mastermind behind most of that, but it's a live stream where we're streaming the price of Shib on our X account that Shane's on right now, and it's going to be live every day for at least the next couple weeks from, I believe it is 11 a.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. So it's every single day having that live price of Shib, and we're looking for feedback as well. We've put out a couple tweets from people just requesting the Shib Army to say, what do you like about this live stream? What other metrics can we add? How do we make it more engaging? And I've gotten some good feedback, like some independent artists who have reached out to have their music on the feed. One difficult thing is finding good music to try to make it interactive. Some things about wanting to see maybe like the amount of Shib burns, the transactions on Shibarium, different metrics that we can be tracking. And we'll also continue taking community feedback there and adding things, because we think it can be a really great tool for the Shib Army in general, and to be more active on X and have that price feed and get more exposure out there. And of course, for the K9 community, branding that alongside Shib and having K9's presence there, where we can all help support Shib and just further integrate our partnership.
Turtle, what are your thoughts? Because if you were the one working on it and getting this set up, I'm sure it's been a lot for you to finally see it live. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah. I mean, the inspiration came from something Funk brought up, as you mentioned, and then it all kind of landed in my court operationally to get it going. I've done plenty of like video streaming setups in the past, so thankfully it was pretty lightweight to get it going, but it ended up looking a lot better than I expected. You know how these things are when you're like piecing them together yourself, you're like putting the Frankenstein together. But yeah, we so far have seen pretty good traction on it. I did set it up through Restream, so we actually have a Twitch channel running, and it's also being run on our Facebook page. And we're looking always for more opportunities on where that stream could end up. So if anyone listening had any interest in, putting this out on an endpoint or anything like that, or like Buzz mentioned, any artists that want to be in the playlist, or really just any enhancements we can do, we can implement the feedback pretty quickly. And so far the viewership has been pretty solid. I think the tunes are keeping people there. I know I pull it up sometimes and forget I even have it open just because the playlist is gone. But yeah, overall, super happy with it.
I think the stream has been averaging like nearly 3,000 people a day watching it, and I know from a marketing perspective, like people are always asking like, oh, when exchanges or when influencers going to promote this, but oftentimes the best marketing ideas can come from just like a really unique little idea that's scalable like this, and just feel as though this can become another area of how we can be marketing K9 alongside Shib and really push it forward.
So let me give you a little perspective from where I'm at, because I spend a lot of time on X, and between what I'm doing here and then the work that I do for Mario, here's what I know about live broadcasts. So when we're doing this from the K9 account, you can simultaneously have an X Spaces live as well as a video live stream. These two things are not mutually exclusive. So one, you have the ability to simulcast and theoretically make revenue from two directions at the same time. And the reason I say make revenue is because Mario uses this same format. I can be hosting Mario's Spaces, and this is so weird because I can look on the sidebar when I have my monitor up, and we can have like 3,500 live listeners in a Spaces. And then right above that, it says Mario is live, and it's the video show, and it's got like 17,000 listeners and viewers. And I'm like, well, what the hell? And what are we doing wrong on Spaces? But the video feed right now, and this is the benefit that K9's going to get right now, there's nothing promoted harder on X right now in the organic feed than the live video streams that users are doing, because it's the most fringe tech that they've developed, and it's the least used by influencers and by these companies. So there are all these brands that are trying to figure out how to take advantage of it. And I think personally, as an ex-denizen, a terminally online user, that the 24/7 news cycle that some people are accustomed to. I know that the K9 channel is not on 24/7, but is very attractive. And what you're talking about, Turtle, and I don't know if you've thought about this, I'm just throwing this out there. I love to listen to when I'm working. I listen to something called Weather Channel Vaporwave. That's a very specific type of music, but also like lo-fi hip hop. So you were saying, like, I put it on and just leave it in the background. I forget it's on when I'm working. I use all kinds of music like that, classical music, which is also open source. So not only could we use artists that want to be featured, that's great, but there's so much great open source music that's out there. And having this tracker on in the background is actually what it's about. And there's actually a number of devices and desk widgets and stuff that you can link trackers and broadcasts to that you might not be using, but other people might be using. So I think that the future for live video broadcast channels on X is only going to grow exponentially, so that we are going through this growing phase right now and trying to figure it out and flush out what works and figure out if we can do advertising and what structure works best. It's so good to be doing this now, because I can tell you right now, Mario's team is busting their hump to make sure that they've got content on that live video feed all the time, because it generates comments in the comment section, frankly, and you get paid when your account is monetized on comments in the comment section. So if they're paying attention, it's growing. It's a big deal. So I'll get off my soapbox, but thank you guys for building this video feed. I'm glad you guys are doing it, and there's going to be so many new cool little iterations and things we can do with it. Seasonal changes, like Christmas music. God, I don't even want to say it out loud because I'm going to be responsible for it. But as soon as somebody throws Mariah Carey on there, I'm going to be in trouble. But Christmas music, Turtle unmuted. I must have really got him. Saison, I saw your hand, but Turtle unmuted. What were you thinking, Turtle?
I wanted to say thank you for the little tip you just gave us, because Buzz and I frantically shut the broadcast off 2 minutes before the space started, because we weren't sure if they could run simultaneously. So definitely good to know moving forward. And yeah, if you have any great open source stuff you want to send over, some work beats, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. So if it's something that you personally like, maybe I can get you listening all the time. So send me something to put up there.
Yeah, and that'll go for everybody. If anybody else can think of something, if you've got like an open source music list or something, let's think about maybe sharing that or figuring out a way to get it to Turtle without flooding his inbox. Saison, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just figure I can poke Turtle later, because this is something I've been thinking of before K9 actually. When I was active at the Bad Idea chat. Then I was starting to think of this with a live stream, because when I'm working, I'm always listening to the Lo-Fi Girl. I don't know if you know about that stream. And so yeah, so I got some ideas that I think are good. I can poke Turtle later about it.
Yeah, I think you're exactly where my mind is, because I watch the same channel. There's so much cool stuff that we can do. We can set up themes and stuff. And Saison, with your just the background music that Saison is using in his YouTube videos is a great example of just like a nice chill background music to carry the conversation or to keep things moving that doesn't overpower stuff. You guys will figure it out. I can't wait. We're gonna get together a week from now, and we're gonna figure it out. You guys notice Frank snuck in the back door while we were talking about this? Frank, what the hell are you doing, man? What's up?
Not much, brother. How's your day?
I'm good. Better than I deserve. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
You, what do you think about this music mix? Do we need to figure out a way to throw some Leonard Skinner on there instead?
Leonard Skinner and some Hank Williams Jr.
Oh, this is what I'm talking about. We don't just have to go one direction. I knew if I wanted to get Frank up here, I couldn't just pick one direction. I mean the band this time. We got to go Southern Comfort. We got to get some Merle Haggard up there. We got to go all these different directions. We got Japanese community members, Frank, that have never heard Hank before. Can you believe that? I know, right? I know. Frank's just had his mind blown. So we're going to have to mix it up. We're going to we need to have community members do like theme nights. We'll figure this out when we're not on a Spaces, you guys. Otherwise, I'm going to do this forever. But you figured it out. So this is cool. And this is what we're talking about by incorporating other people's ideas into this, because I think it would be fun to have everybody try and build a playlist or try and put something together. Because remember, we won't be able to use copyrighted music. They will slap you down for stuff like that, but we'll be able to figure out ways to do fun stuff stuff using those things. So congratulations to everybody that got it up and running. And we will test it. If you guys want to get together and figure out a way to just open up a Spaces with the K9 account, that's just a test Spaces, to simulcast and make sure that we don't ruin it, that would be better than trying it on a Thursday. So we can also link up for that, figure out a way to do that. And get that done. Buzz, I also mentioned, and I alluded to this at the beginning, that there's a gold check mark next to the K9 account, huh? What's up with that, huh?
Yeah, super exciting that we are now an official, Shane, how do you word it? The official gold account affiliate of
Yeah, we're an affiliate account.
Affiliate account of the Shib account. So the Shib account was kind enough to lend us an affiliate gold badge, which gives us a lot more reach on Twitter, but also, as people can see who are watching here, we have that little Shib logo next to us as an official Shib project wherever we go. So we get all of the benefits of being in a gold Twitter account, which means more reach, more features, more kind of like institutional grade things that we can do behind the scenes. I'm not necessarily the Twitter or X expert as others may be, but there is a ton of benefits to being gold in terms of your visibility on the platform. And we are proud enough to say that we are going to get that directly from the Shib account too. So have that little Shib logo there, which is very exciting.
It does have a host of benefits for reach. It also eliminates seeing ads on the platform. Not that that's a big deal because there's not a lot of people surfing on the K9 account, but you get extended reach. You're going to get elevated reach on your highlights and your pin posts in particular. That's also a very nice, you get grok. Like, again, not that that's going to affect a lot of people, but you do get a lot of little perks. Now, I want to touch on, just to give everybody the opportunity for transparency and clairvoyance here. This was a forum issue that was voted on and stuff and went back and forth. So when this showed up, this was a little bit different than where we last left off. And removing my own personal bias from this, Buzz, can you talk about how we arrived at where we are with this?
Yeah, of course. We had a forum post that was actually put in by Shane, and it was to use some of the use some of the existing budget or open up a new budget to purchase a gold affiliate or a gold account on X with the treasury, and that the cost of that is about $10,000, and I think the community was in unanimous support that we wanted to use funds to have the gold badge to get that increased visibility, but most of the sentiment amongst the roundtable and amongst some of the people that were commenting in the forum too was that we should put that into the existing marketing budget. What happens when we kind of just keep having proposals and being like, oh, fit it into the existing budget, is that the budget starts to get a little bit clustered and a little bit full. Of course, we have some things that we know of coming up that we needed to reserve budget for. We had this opportunity come up to co-brand with the Shib account to get this at a much lower price tag, but the added benefits of having your own gold account where you can give affiliate badges to people underneath you does not come from what we have now. So one of the major benefits, if we were to ever purchase the gold affiliate from the treasury, is that if we have somebody like Sizen who's on stage, or even Xander's Turtle, we could give affiliate badges where rather than having the Shib logo next to somebody's name, it would actually be the K9 logo. So wherever our community goes, whether it's a Spaces or just tweeting in general, they would always see the K9 badge there and be redirected to the K9 account versus the Shib account. So that's the one downside to having an affiliate from Shib versus buying our own gold account. So super happy to have had the Shib account be able to offer us that. But yeah, good point to point out that there was a forum post that was a little bit different from the implementation. So we're able to, as a community, see how it goes of being a gold affiliate under Shib right now, if we are getting a lot of that benefit, and certainly revisit that forum post and go to a community-wide token holder vote if we wanted to put the $10,000 towards getting our own badge, or if as a community we're very excited with the current setup as well. So that still remains open for discussion, as most things are always up for in the forum.
I do think an affiliate next to Xander's eventually would look nice. Beyonce said, if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. And we can't let Xander's slip. So we got to lock him up before somebody else does. I appreciate you being transparent on all of that, because that's one of those things that my vision for it was definitely being able to hand out the badges, like the Bachelor giving out roses at the end of the episode. But we'll get there. I'm mad about it. I understand you're trying to save a few bucks, and we look good with the Shib account on there, because they sure as hell aren't going to be mad with us running around waving their flag everywhere. I mean, it's a win for everybody. So I'm not upset about it, but let's keep the forum thing open. And eventually, if we get a windfall or there's a budget surplus, I know that every 3 months, the budget is kind of reformulated, and that there's going to be changes when that comes around. So we'll just be patient. I'll bide my time, but we'll figure it out. So thank you for being transparent on that. I know that this is something we've already talked about.
There's only, sorry, Shane. There's only, sometimes like we're starting to learn as well, like how difficult it can be to operate within a DAO where we're getting budget approvals, but we also know what's coming up in the pipeline that we can't yet announce, but we need to reserve budget for. So it's often like we're finding how difficult it can be, where there's so much transparency into what people are voting for, and people are able to sort of like calculate or do accounting for like, oh, here's what's being spent here, here, and here, based on looking at some of the payments that may be coming out of the wallets and things like that. So we're seeing how difficult it can be to balance like not announcing that something's happening, but also getting approval for budgets. And yeah, I just wanted to put that out there too. It's just, we're learning as a community how challenging that can be to keep announcements so that they're not spoiled, but also to make sure that we're acting transparently with budgeting.
Yeah, best believe the wallet watchers are looking for a massive move to something called Binance 10. That's all it takes, is one community member to see something move to something called Kraken, and people are going to lose their mind. So no, you're not wrong. It's actually very difficult.
Yeah, it's I think in crypto in general, especially within a DAO, it's quite possible for people to be looking at on-chain to see and sleuth what things might be in the pipeline, right? So it's this delicate balance between being as transparent as we can, but also really trying to respect some announcements that may be coming up.
Yeah, and I'll leave it at that, man. Read between the lines. There's a post that we've talked about. We need to just keep highlighting this as we keep going, so I'm bringing this up again. The hackathon is currently live on DoraHacks. It's actually live and open. Last time we had a Spaces, I believe, was the first day that this thing went live, and it runs from then until ETH Toronto. So can you reiterate for me, because I know we talked about we weren't going to be getting a lot of updates or anything, so I'm not looking for updates, but just quickly touch on what that means again, and where would we direct people to see more info about that?
I cut out there. Could you repeat that?
Sure. The DoraHacks hackathon is live, right? And we've touched on that, but I would be interested in letting people know if they were interested in seeing more about it, where would they go? We talked about you wouldn't have updates necessarily on what was going on, because it wouldn't take, but maybe that last few days. But what would we show people? Where would they go to read about this?
Yeah, and that actually, Shane, was not a fake I cut out there, because I know often people do that on Spaces. But yeah, if people want info about the DoraHacks, I'll actually find the tweet and I will pin it in here. So you can go directly to the link that'll be in the pinned tweet, and it'll show the exact prompts that we're asking for, what the prizes are. And we've seen some people flood into a specific Telegram channel that's been set up for hackers. Turtle and Shima are also in the Discord, official Discord for ETH Toronto, and see some of the hackers already chatting about building for the K9 bounty, which is very exciting. And we've actually seen members of the Shibarium community. I don't want to call anyone out or anything like that, but some other project owners and builders taking interest in the K9 bounty, and very excited to share some of what they've been working on in this hackathon too, which is also very exciting and poses more of a urgency for people to deploy these and get these projects going, which is ultimately a net positive for both K9 and Shibarium.
I just want to keep reminding people that that thing's live, because when we get to ETH Toronto and there's a flurry of activity and you hear about all the finishers and stuff, I don't want it to have swept up anyone by surprise. Now, your regular retail investors might not be participating, but as the K9 community, we should be pretty excited about this, because Buzz laid out last week some of what the prompts were for developing DApps, right? That's the goal.
Yeah, they're basically, it's very open-ended. We want activities that are going to be, products being built that are going to benefit K9, but also benefit Shibarium at the same time. So the prompt is very open-ended. We gave some inspirations, like a token launch platform, analytics dashboards, better places to get information about Shibarium, but ultimately, many of the things that are going to be built are going to benefit the community. And just one thing to point out too is that for those who are going to the conference, the hackathon is not only on site, it is technically on site, but it's at a nearby university, so not actually at the conference, but it's also digital as well. So people from around the world can participate in it, whether or not they're going to the conference or not.
It's good if you can bring in a worldwide audience of participants. That way, it's not just limited to people with travel budgets. It's a great idea. I can't wait to see what people turn in. I'm gonna lightly focus on when you said token launch platform, and I'm just picturing pump.shib. I hope someone can come up with something like that. But I can't imagine more volume coming to the chain than having an easy launch platform, because that's something I see on other chains really helps. So I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground, and if you learn anything, don't hesitate, because I'm sure that if anyone was building, they would want to be talked about, or they'd want their stuff shared. So hopefully we get some news from somebody who's got a rough product or something they can tease us with. It'd be cool if they were able to reach out, let us know what they were building. You could let them know anybody. I don't know if it'd be unfair for them to come on to Spaces, but if you knew somebody that was building and wanted a chance to chat about it or something, it'd be cool to invite them on. I got two more things that I wrote down that came from posts this week that I wanted to ask about. I noticed that you made a post about Shima fixing something, but was this for Polygon as a whole and it benefited Shibarium? What was it that Shima submitted to fix?
Yeah, pretty much. So for those who are familiar with Shibarium, they would know that it is a Polygon fork. So the way that Shibarium's built is very similar to Polygon. So often when we're testing things, like we may test on Polygon as well, just because of how similar the two chains are, and sometimes there's just a few more things deployed over there that we can toy around with to make sure that it's going to work well with Shibarium. So it was I believe it was a 3-year-old bug that he found in Matic, and he published it in our GitHub, and it's basically how can I summarize this really well? Like it's a small piece of code that's just going to make it so that validators can operate more efficiently, so that the API isn't getting hit like seconds if a transaction is not going through. It just makes things operate more efficiently. And all nodes on the Shibarium network can integrate this, and it'll benefit Polygon as well. So good find by him. He could probably talk more about it because he wrote it and he did it, but that's kind of a high level of what he did there. And just another great example of, I know when we had that original Spaces when Shai was on here and speaking about K9, is K9 really being a beacon for developers. And not only do we want to be bringing the K9 product to Shibarium and all the benefits that we know of, and how Bone can be given more utility there, but we want to be creating a pathway for more developers to come here and more infrastructure builders and things like that to build the chain. And it's just another thing that we're trying to do to provide value to the community, of fixing things that we find along the way to make it easier for the next people to come.
I wanted to bring it up just to highlight for the community that you've got people like Shima who are not just developing for K9, but capable of actually submitting fixes for Polygon as a whole. This just reinforces why I think we were probably easy to trust and quick to trust him for the proposal that he put forward for the liquidity or the management of the treasury and stuff like that. So even though he's not here, kudos to Shima for continuing to lead the way and be a development beacon, which is what we've got a team of people, Buzz being the development advocate for the Shib team, and then Shima quickly working on polishing his accolades for. We need to come up with something, since he's not here. Maybe we could spitball it. We need to come up with something for him, like development lead for K9. People love titles. Maybe we need to work on that. We'll work on that in the chat between now and then. But he deserves something nice and shiny, because it's very cool for him to do that. And everybody, if you guys see him in the chat, or you can tag him, just tell him thanks, because again, Turtle, we talked about this last week. Turtle's got a whole group of people that we just don't get to talk to. Like, we're the ones that do spaces. We're the ones that come out here and do this. But it's the stuff that Turtle and his secret, I don't know, like, I assume there's other turtles that probably live, I don't know, in a sewer, you know, like code ninjas, these ninja turtles that are secretly underground. You guys, can you picture something like that? Let me know if you can picture that. I want to give Cezanne an opportunity to update everybody on how the YouTube channel has been going, because this guy, if you see the updates in the Telegram, he just casually drops these posts like, hey, I got another video uploaded. Hey, I got another video uploaded. Can you tell everybody kind of a reminder of what you're doing? What's the project that you're working on, and where you're at right now with your YouTube uploads?
I've been having a hard week because I downloaded some new software and I start pushing buttons, and it didn't go as I wanted to. So, when I'm rendering video or recording the X spaces, I normally go outside, either for a run or to the store or something like that, and expect it to be done when I'm back home. But like 7 times now. I had to do it many times. So yeah. So this week I haven't been posted anything, but it will come out. That is for the normal X-Space recording. But I can say that for the official public beta test, I think I mentioned that a couple of spaces ago too. I will do a live stream on my YouTube channel, which will be a fun place to be, and I will be like a helping tool, you could say. Like when people ask in the Telegram chats, I can show them in real time, and guide them like that. And I want to have a couple of days with we hang out and have fun and doing the testing when the public beta test comes up.
Well, I sure appreciate you taking the time to get those uploaded. Now you went from doing the videos and taking a run to doing the videos and going to sleep, and just having to wait the 7 to 8 hours to get them done. I appreciate that you're taking the time to catalog those things, and it almost makes me feel bad. I couldn't condense this show into 15 minutes if I had to. People already say I speak too fast, so I guess it's just the burden is now on your processor. To get it done, I don't have any solution for you, but thank you for taking the time to do it, and thank you for posting them in the chat. I have seen, you remember this week, I definitely saw at least one person, and Buzz did too, because I saw that you commented on it, that someone came in and said, hey, I just found this video online about K9 Finance in the weekly spaces. So people are seeing them, people are discovering them, they are searchable, they are, the phrases are searchable. So over time, the value, the funny thing about YouTube videos, because I have over 100 YouTube videos on my own channel for my fitness stuff, is the value is not often that when you upload it that week, that it's going to be when you need it. It'll be later when you need it as a reference or as a link to send somebody for something else or as a clip to pull out. So you're doing good work, man, and I appreciate it. From the rest of the community, I appreciate it. I hope everybody that when those things come up, you guys are going over there and liking and commenting on those videos for him, because it helps a lot on YouTube when he gets those algorithmic boosts. Go ahead.
And that is exactly my plan behind all this. I'm a guy who think ahead of time, a long time ahead sometimes too. So yeah, and what you said there is exactly what I'm thinking.
I appreciate it. I know that you're getting it out there, and everybody's going to be able to look back at some point and they're going to say, man, do you remember back when? Those were the days back in the early spaces. Speaking of looking back when, I would like to pivot to Frank, because he's up here and I can put him on the spot right now, man. You've been building up the VCs and had some pretty good attendance. What are your thoughts on the way your numbers have been growing? Didn't you have like 60 people attend one of your last VCs?
70. and that was
wow.
That was with our Shibarium partnership. And next Monday we're having a partnership VC with Bad Idea, and like I said, we're going to be shilling that in both communities and getting an understanding of Bad Idea and them getting an understanding of K9 and sharing our thoughts and how we can bring value to K9 and Bad Idea and Shibarium all together.
Whoops, hit the wrong button when I went to go unmute myself and muted everybody. Hope that didn't shut anybody down. It'll be good. That'll be a good chance to blend everything. I hear they're a rowdy community over there, and I hear you got to watch out for that Sarah character. I've seen some of the videos lately. She might be up to something, man. I don't know what's going on. It might be a bad idea from what I understand. It's kind of weird. They pulled up a Spaces earlier, they being me, of course. I'm suffering schizophrenia from my ex-hosting experiences. And Buzz came over there and hung out. They also just launched on Shibarium. So there's a lot of commonality going on right now between Bad Idea and K9. That's one of the reasons they're partners, as well as partnered with Shib. But having both of these projects, which are huge projects in their own right, both hit Shibarium in relatively the same time frame, both prior to ETH Toronto and Blockchain Futurist, is not a mistake. That's what I'll say. It's not a mistake. So, Frank, you're probably going to have a lot of attendance on Monday, and I'm going to do my best from both sides of the equation. And so will Anders and a lot of the other people in here that cross these communities that are in the bad chat, that are in the K9 chat. We're going to do our best to cross promote that. And I would want the bad chat to be your most attended chat. That would be my goal. So I'm certainly going to do everything I can. But let's not back down on it either, because they certainly have a lot of people over there that still don't know about K9. So we're going to mix up the pot as best as we can. And nobody better to stir the pot than Frank, man. So I appreciate you putting in the work, and we're going to circle it. So if you need anything from me or Lightspeed, make sure you DM us in the meantime, and we're going to do what we can, okay?
We'll do, and I appreciate all you guys.
Yeah, man, it's not a bad idea at all. We got time. I would normally have saved time for Funk's Corners, but you guys noticed Funk wasn't here today, and he's going to be back shortly, and we'll see him next time around, but he's still on vacation. But I did save time for Buzz's Corner before we do the wrap-up today. We're coming up on that 1 hour spot, but we always save a little bit of time to see what Buzz has been thinking about, because he has to talk all the time about K9 and liquid staking and the platform and being a Shib development lead. Everybody asks when, Buzz, but today, like we always do, we ask how, Buzz. So how are you, Buzz? What's up?
I'm doing good. Definitely super busy. The next week is going to be a really busy development week for us, as we've opened the private beta. Of course, working towards fixing, not just fixing, but improving the product too. I think there's been very few, hey, this is broken, you need to fix this sort of bug requests put in, but more so suggestions for improvements. So next week will be a really good time to put our head down to really make a lot of those fixes, prepare for an open beta testing where our community would be able to access the product as well, and not just our whale chat, but more importantly, do a lot of planning for what we have coming up at ETH Toronto, which is going to be a major announcement on stage. That'll be the first day of the conference, and we have all of our videos that have been made for that, all of our marketing materials, and the team at Futurist and ETH Toronto have really been helping us to make a big splash there, and their expertise in how to make a really viral and share-worthy announcement has been really integral in setting all that up. So next week's really going to be a heads-down week to get a lot of things in place for what we're leading up to at ETH Toronto.
You guys know things are getting serious when Buzz's Corner is actually still business-related. Bro, are you dead? No, it's just legitimate excitement. I know how excited you are to be able to showcase this stuff. It's like I said, you're going to be able to show everybody what you've been working on, these videos coming out, man. It'll be cool. I'm genuinely upset that you're not going to be there, Buzz. It's sad. I know there are a lot of people that are going to be there asking where, Buzz. Part of me wants to bring a cardboard cutout so people can take pictures. It's like what they do at the what's it called? The place where they do burgers, Wahlburgers, where you think Mark Wahlberg is going to be there, but he's never there. Then you have to take pictures with the cardboard cutout. We're going to figure out maybe we can ship a cardboard Buzz and do pictures. I also, by the way, announced this on the Bad Idea Spaces. I will be attending ETH Toronto as well. So I will be there too. And that's Pulse Digital, not the K9 Finance account. K9, that's obviously going to be there. But I'm going to be there too. So when I'm threatening to bring a cardboard cutout, I might actually follow through. I'd probably have to ship it ahead of time to the hotel. I don't know what customs would think if I tried to walk through with that. But look forward to everybody that's going to be there from K9 Finance. There's going to be people wearing merch. There's going to be people wearing hoodies. People getting a lot of media capture. I'm very, very excited for everybody that's going to be there. I also mentioned this in the bad idea spaces because this is just something I think about for when we're getting together. If you are going to this event, usually the week before or like the weekend before the event, a lot of little chats will open up for people who are going there. People will start telegrams or start groups or group chats up for people who are actually going to the event. If you guys end up in one of these and you do not see somebody else from this show or somebody else from your groups that you know is attending, make sure that you get everybody in the same space so that you can coordinate your film, your video, your pictures, your media, because these are huge opportunities for all of the brands that are attending, since this is Shib Toronto, for everybody to get together to get pictures and video that doesn't just work just that week. It's stuff that you can use for weeks. Cool pictures, cool video, stuff that makes great media stuff later on. So make sure that you guys are all staying connected when you get to ETH Toronto, because there's so many people from the community that are going to be there. It would be a shame to miss those opportunities to be in the chats with everybody. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, definitely. Shima is here, by the way, if he wants to come up and talk about his open source work or anything like that. So I don't want to put him on the spot, but I did see him in the listeners. But yeah, like you said, I won't, as Buzz, be at ETH Toronto, unfortunately, but I think people will put the pieces together at ETH Toronto as to why
what does that mean?
I'm not there.
That didn't solve any mystery at all. What the hell? Who the hell talks like that? I won't, as Buzz, be at ETH Toronto. My guy, I do journalism. I can't let you say that. What do you mean I won't, comma, as Buzz, comma, be it? Who the hell will you be there as? Now I think you're Shaitoshi. What are you doing?
I won't be there.
As Buzz. No. I heard you the first time. Stays on. Let's get this on.
I'm sure people will figure out at the conference why I'm not there.
Bro, you're killing me, because I'm going to take that quote and I'm going to run with that. I won't, as Buzz, be there. So it's like, well, who's he going to be, you guys? I hope you all heard that live and in person with me. I'm gonna ride you about that for the rest of the week. That's hilarious, bro. I appreciate you so much. So look forward to everybody that will be there. I know there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be traveling that are going to make it there. Let's get together. Let's make sure that we get pictures and link up with each other. I have intentions to try, and I have to bring this up here. I have intentions to try to do spaces from the event, but the Thursday show that week is going to be very complicated because most of us are traveling that day. Like Buzz is going to be available, but the majority of us will be traveling. Turtle will be traveling, I think. I will be traveling, and a lot of these other accounts will be. So we may be moving the show to Friday that week for two reasons. One, because I'm going to be traveling, and I don't want everybody else to have to host it without me. And my continuity streak is flawless at this point. I don't want to break it. And two, because a post ETH Toronto Friday show might actually be more content packed and more exciting than a Thursday, after the facts type of event. So anybody has any thoughts on that? If there's any debate about that, feel free to follow up in the Telegram because we're still kind of open to that. But our thoughts on it right now were that it might just be best to push to Friday and instead do the weekly show on the Friday, because I will be back by then and stuff. But if for some reason you guys wanted to do something, do a VC on Thursday on your own without us, that might be an option as too. If you just are so addicted to having that K9 on Thursday, you had to figure out a way to do an alternate, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But we'll work on it. So in the meantime, we're up at about the hour. I got people walking in the front door, so it's time for me to go. I don't think we missed anything today. I scrolled through the whole list one more time. I think we touched on everything. I appreciate everybody that came in. No one with the updates about what his experience was in the whale chat, bro. I appreciate you doing all the test work. It's very cool. Frank, we mentioned the VC numbers with over 10,000 in attendance. It's unbelievable the records that you're setting with the people that are showing up, and we're going to have even more with the Bad Idea group showing up on Monday. So we're going to double and triple the promo on that. Bone account for sliding in like I didn't see you come in the back door, bro. Thank you for showing up and hanging out. Turtle, it's good to have you in here, man, and the work that you were doing on everything. It's always good to get the updates from you on stuff. And Cezanne, the YouTube, I'm going to touch on everybody. Cezanne, the YouTube, I appreciate it, and the work that you're doing there, particularly because you have to sit through so very much of my voice, and I would never want to do that, and I appreciate you doing that. It's very cool. Xander's, thank you for sliding by yet another Spaces. I know you were not able to talk earlier, but thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your constant support, and I'm going to continue continue to advocate for you getting a K9 badge because I just think it would look good on you. And Shib account, once again, I know you're not speaking today, but thank you for constantly being supportive of K9 and the things that we do. And thank you again for coming to the Bad Idea show earlier. You guys don't know how lucky we are at K9 and at Bad Idea to have the support of the main Shib account. There are no other shows on X that have this show up. They don't. And I don't think people understand the impact that it has having them roll in the door like this. It's huge, and people are going to be very aware of it eventually. So thank you for peeling off the time. And Buzz, final thoughts for everybody before we shut it down?
Yeah, final thoughts would be just thanking all of the whales. I mean, we've probably had nearly, Turtle, what do you think, 40 or 50 people seemingly testing the product in different degrees. Which is awesome, and just encourage people to keep finding improvements, keep finding minor bugs. We're working away at it to make improvements live on the fly, as many of the whales have seen. And if you are interested in testing the product ahead of the general public or the general community, just hit up Turtle, and he has a process, more of an intimate process. Intimate's probably the wrong word. But for getting you into the whale chat, just so that it's not just, hey, click this button and get into the whale chat, but more of a warm welcome from Turtle rather than an intimate welcome is what I meant.
No, you're on a roll, man. I'm taking 2 clips out of the last 10 minutes of this space, and I am running with it all week. Buzz, I appreciate you, bro, for pulling in. We're going to follow up with all of this. And next time, 1 week from today, 7 days on another Thursday edition of the K9 Finance Weekly DAO Update Spaces. I'm your host, Pulse Digital, rolling in the K9 Finance account. Again, very thankful for having the opportunity to come up here and be the voice of the DAO again. So stay tuned, stay to the account, follow us with notifications on, like and share all the posts that come across, and we'll see you again 1 week from today. Have a great day, everybody. We appreciate you.